So let's get started with the first question. What do you do as a job?
I'm the apprenticeship coordinator for BAC Local 3 Joint Apprentice Training and Education Committee. So basically, I manage the apprenticeship programs for bricklayers, PCC, marble masons, terrazzo, and things of that nature.
Um, as a bricklayer, what is the work-life experience like?
So as a bricklayer, which I worked in the field for about 15 years,
Mhm.
typically your day starts early in the morning. You're getting up at 5 or 6, so you can start between 6 and 7 a.m. Your day consists of building walls, building scaffold, making cuts, all different types of job sites and different locations. So once you finish a job, you're on to the next project in the next location, and you get to see a lot of the state.
Nice. Nice. Um, about how many hours a week do people in this career generally work?
Typically, it's 40 hours a week. That's your standard work week. You're working 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. Now, there's opportunities beyond that for some overtime, and sometimes the weather affects us where you may work a little bit less than that in the winter.
Oh. When you joined this career as a bricklayer, did you receive on-the-job training? And is that something commonly available to people who want to join this field?
Absolutely. So, on the job training is one of the core tenets of apprenticeship. So, once you're an apprentice, the majority of your time is spent with on the job training that you're compensated for. So, while you're learning the trade, you're getting paid for every hour that you're learning. Now, here at the school, we supplement your training um, roughly quarterly with a week of instructional training on the technical aspects of the trade. After completing your required sessions of schooling, you would get a raise, and then your pay would increase for your next period of on-the-job training as you learn more skills, and then that just progresses over typically a course of 2.5 to 3.5 years, depending on the length of the program.
Oh, that's cool. So basically, the longer you're in the apprenticeship, the more you get paid.
Not necessarily. Although our shorter programs do typically top out at a lower pay scale,
Uh-huh.
but there's specific time requirements for each program. So, for example, a terrazzo finisher, they have a
Mhm.
2.5 year program, whereas a bricklayer would be a 3.5 year program. So,
Uh,
depending on the trade you decide on, that would dictate the length of your program.
oh. What educational backgrounds do people in the career generally have?
Typically, a high school diploma or GED. Now, that isn't a requirement. Sometimes we'll get some folks who've done some college and decided that wasn't for them. But as a requirement, we don't have a GED or high school diploma requirement, although we do strongly recommend that is basic for entry,
All right.
although it's not a requirement.
Oh, okay. Got it. How has this career changed you as a person? Has it fostered any new traits within you?
I think so. I consider myself a bricklayer. If somebody said, you know, what are you? I'm a bricklayer. I definitely pay attention to brick buildings, but you pay more attention to details in all aspects of your life because you
Uh,
realize how critical these detailed aspects are when you're constructing buildings and going into work on these numerous projects. I also develop a lot of respect for anybody who works in the trade.
mm, nice. Do you think this job is risky as a bricklayer?
And I read that question and I wondered, is that specifically in terms of what is the outlook for the future, or is in terms of safety, like safety hazards?
Safety hazards, in terms of safety hazards.
Okay, so safety hazards, yes, it can be hazardous. We're working on scaffolds, we're working on swing stages up to 200 feet up off the ground. But
Mhm.
one of the great parts about being in the union is we work on some of the safest job sites in the country. So
Okay.
as an apprentice, you receive some of the best safety training around, and
Mhm.
working with other union members, you're working with some of the other safest people in the industry.
Oh,
So it can be
wow.
risky, but most of those hazards are mitigated through safety training.
Oh. How do promotions work for this career?
We promote typically at career fairs. We'll go out and do some outreach to vocational type of training centers, any type of workforce development. We even reach out to some of the incarcerated population of the state for some reentry into the workforce. So basically, anyone who's over 18 years of age and has reliable transportation are people we're looking for who are interested in working outside with their hands and like to see the production of their labor at the end of the day.
Oh, all right. Would you say that this is a stable career, as in a career that someone can hold on to for many years without worry?
I would say not without worry. Now, I don't know if there's any career you can do without any worry, but as far as this being a stable career, this is a solid foundation of a career. Bricklaying has got to be one of the oldest professions in the world, going back thousands of years. It's going to see some ups and downs like anything else, but it's here to stay and it'll be here in the future and for generations to come.
How can I get started in this field of work?
So just to get started, number one thing just needs to spark your interest. You need to be interested in the career and want to consider being a bricklayer. The next steps you take is come down to our training center where you could apply. You have to apply in person. You can bring photo ID, which has to be a driver's license and a social security card. And then we would supply you with a contractors list that would name the contractors that are part of our local, which is Northern California. So we cover the northern half of the state. You would have to seek your own employment. Once you gain employment, you will be able to come back and you will be automatically entered into the apprenticeship program.
Oh, last question. Anything else you think is important for anyone who is interested in pursuing the bricklaying career?
I would say go for it. If you're interested in pursuing it, I would highly encourage you to come down, look more into it. You can go onto our website and check us out at bac3train.com. Or if you have any questions, you can reach out to us at the training center with all that contact information from the website. It's really fun, I think, to go out and build something with your hands and be able to drive by it 10, 20, 30, 40 years down the road and that building still be there and you're almost like a part of history. Sounds a little corny, but it is kind of neat to look back. And I mean, generations are going to be able to enjoy these buildings and structures that we take part in constructing.
Oh, sounds awesome. So there's definitely like a historical satisfaction as to being part of history.
It is. It's pretty cool.
That's nice. That's nice. Well, that's all the questions I have for you today, Josh. Thank you once again for taking your time to be a part of this interview. I'm sure that my peers, and especially me, I'm pretty interested in the way this career sounds. Bricklaying sounds pretty fun, in my opinion. And I can't wait to get this word out to all my other peers.
Sounds good, Andrew. Thank you for reaching out to me. And if you have any other questions, feel free. You've got my email and my contact information. So anything you have questions on, let me know.
All right. Thank you so much, Josh. Have a great rest of your day.
Hey, you too. Bye.